Hello, tequila friends. It's your friendly neighborhood tequila slinger, Lisa. Welcome to the One with Life podcast. Thank you for joining us today. If you like what you hear, please don't forget to subscribe and follow us through YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and social media. We are so lucky today. We have a very special guest, Gina Clemente, who is a Reiki Master, among many other things. I have been a client of Gina's for over 10 years. I recently become a student of Gina's to get my Reiki certification, and in May, my Reiki Masters. Gina really has been life-changing for me in terms of her energy work. She has raised my vibration every time it's been low, or many times when it's been low, and it's just amazing what Reiki can do. And I'm so inspired by her that I thought it would be a really great idea to interview her for the podcast and share that message with all of you. So Gina, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much. And you're an inspiration, so
I would love for you to share as much as you'd like to share about your journey to become a Reiki Master. How did you get into energy work, and why did you decide to do energy work?
Sure. So my whole life, I've certainly been or felt connected to God, to mystical things, to energy. And it was just over 20 years ago, actually, I was spending quite a lot of time. I spent actually 2 years basically in prayer meditation. And that actually is what kind of inspired me a little bit. I had read an article that Reiki could actually help with meditation. So I called this woman. I had no idea what Reiki was. I started seeing this woman, and she happened to be a Catholic nun, which I didn't know. And at that time, it was actually opportune for me. I was going through a divorce, and I was going through some work transitions as well, along with this deep practice of prayer and meditation. And every time I would go to her, I just got up off the table. I felt lighter, better, not even necessarily better, but just everything was flowing. I wasn't worried about anything. I felt very peaceful. And after several months of receiving Reiki, she had said that she was moving out of the area, and basically I just walked out of her office and thought, this is so good for people. I have to find out what she's doing. I had no idea really what this woman was doing. All I knew is the benefits that I was getting from it. And actually within a week, I had found my teacher. At that time, there wasn't really a lot of people that were doing Reiki or teaching Reiki. It wasn't really very well known like it is today. And I went to my first class. I remember leaving my first class, and I didn't really know if anything had changed. I had gone home and did this little exercise with my hands, which is one of the things I teach people in my class, that my teacher had taught me. And all of a sudden I could feel this magnetic feeling. I could feel something in my hands. I knew something was different. And I remember calling her up and saying, Terry, this happened. Is this right? And she kind of laughed at me and said, yes, Gina, you got it. I'll see you tomorrow in class. So, and I was hooked right from that feeling, even though I didn't understand it. And even today, I'll tell people every time you experience a Reiki session or I give a Reiki session, there's something new that happens. It's never the same because we're always changing energetically.
They say everything is energy. We hear that so much now, even in the mainstream. People are starting to really discover that everything is made of energy. Energy is everywhere around us. Energy controls the frequency. So tell us a little bit about that in terms of why people should care about energy.
Well, people should care because that's actually what we're made up of. So we have our physical body, just like we have a muscle system and a blood system, we have an energy system. And even though we can't see it, we can feel it. When we leave or transition, whatever where somebody may believe where they go after we pass away, that's really our energy system that's leaving our physical body. It's our soul, it's our spirit. So, and everything attaches to all of our experiences end up affecting our energy system. So it's a huge reason to care about keeping it healthy, paying attention to it. And just today, people are really, physicians and people more in Western medicine are recognizing kind of the benefits of energy work and how it translates into how things, happen in our body, the stress that happens in our body and physical ailments. So
what is something very simple if someone, let's say, doesn't have time to go to a Reiki master, but just wants to raise their vibration or be aware of their energy? What's something very simple that somebody could do?
Breath is the first thing that people can do. Even taking a moment to pause and kind of scan through your body and even notice, if you breathe in and breathe out, where maybe it's stopping, your breath is stopping, or even a breath in and a breath out can allow a cleanse or a clearing of your system, of your energy system. So there's, meditation is a great thing that, people can do, which meditation can be anything. It could be walking on a path and just being mindful. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to completely clear your mind, because people say that that's challenging for them. But any kind of meditation, any kind of breath, movement can recenter people. So.
And how much do you believe that energy and your vibrations affect not only your emotional health, but your physical health as well? Because I know sometimes someone will come to you and they'll have some kind of a physical ailment and you kind of connect that to them energetically.
Oh, 100%. All of our experiences, like I said, they do connect to our energy system and can, settle in our physical body. So whether somebody, they say that studies have really shown that 75% of illness is the body's reaction to stress, whether it be chronic or acute. So if you really think about that, and then the rest of it is environmental and heredity. So if you can keep your stress level down, your nervous system down, which is what's really affecting your energy system, then you can be very proactive in preventing illness. Very clearly that happens. And as a practitioner, you can feel it in people's bodies. As I place my hands and work in different areas of somebody's bodies, the sensations that happen in the practitioner's hands are kind of indicators of where the person is holding more in their body, or a part of the body that might have more illness in it, or a part of the body that the energy is flowing really smoothly and easily. And we can feel energy. I mean, everybody has that intuitive sense, or, you're around somebody and you know who you want to be a magnet to if your vibrational frequencies are the same, and you know who you don't want to be a magnet to if they don't feel as good to you. So that's all energy.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you walk into a room and you're like, whoa, you can feel that there's bad energy in the room and you want to leave. And then other times you walk into a room and you immediately feel relaxed and peaceful. Now, is that based on the people in the room? Is that the energy of the room itself? Combination of both?
Combination of both, but a lot of it, if you're talking about people, it is more the energy that the people are vibrating out into the auric field that you're connecting to. And to kind of give a little sense of that, I'll say nothing is good or bad. It's just at a different vibrational frequency. So no person, place, food, situation is necessarily good or bad. It's just how you're vibrating and whether it's in alignment with how you're vibrating energetically or not. And that really, that allows us, because we are all connected, and that allows us to have, at least for me, a great love and appreciation for every person or situation that I encounter, it brings less judgment into situations and less judgment for people. So just because they're vibrating differently than me, it doesn't mean that, you know, that's a bad thing. It's just where they're at, and I'll either decide to stay clear or go forward.
Yeah, and it's good when you can be aware of that, and you know that sometimes you just need to stay clear of a situation. Now, my follow-up question to that is it possible to change the energy of the room if you're vibrating at a certain frequency that's pretty high and you're feeling good, and you walk into a situation where maybe it's a lower frequency? Can you raise that just by your energy?
Absolutely. I am a light out person. I'm not a person who tells people to stay in a bubble. You don't want to stay in a bubble. You want to light out. You want to light around you, light behind you when you're walking. And because there are people in that room that might just need to be sloughed off a little bit. That's what I call it. They just kind of need a little bit of dusting off. And you can be a magnet, and you want to raise people up. You want to bring things finer. You don't want to allow the lower vibrational frequencies. It feels so much better. And that's the optimum. That's love. That's where that's where you want to be. Usually if something's vibrating lower, it's vibrating more in a fear or a conserving, if someone or situation's higher, it's more a love vibrational frequency. Yeah.
Now, when I've gone to you as a client, you've often, in that 45-minute period that I'm lying on the table, and you put your hands on all different areas to shift the energy, sometimes you hear things or see things, and then you share that with me after the session. I'm always coming off your table so relaxed. And I'm always amazed at how much you're picking up in terms of messages that you're receiving. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. It's definitely something that everybody has the ability to do. It's a matter of whether we're paying attention to it or not. But during a Reiki session or an energy session specifically, you're kind of walking into and you're asking for this healing energy to flow through the practitioner, connecting to the person's energy system. So the practitioner's energy is at a higher and finer frequency. Finer is really a better word. So it's really, really thin lines. And when that happens, that allows the spiritual energy or, a loved one to come through or a message to come through. And it's coming through in the absolute purest form. So for me, I have a lot of clairaudient ability. So I hear things in words or phrases. That's also where people might see color. They might see images. Because your body is also at that, I'm relaxed, the person's relaxed. When that happens, then you can connect more to that divine, which really has that higher knowledge and higher wisdom. And then there's also feelings in the body that happen, which for me, it's an indication of, kind of where the energy is going in the person. So it's that sixth sense, that extra sense that we all have. And again, I'm sure many people know, I really thought that or knew that or heard that, and I didn't go that way. And they knew they should, they were opened up at that moment. Yeah.
Now, another thing that you always mention is that you're not the healer. You're the channel. You're basically helping somebody heal themselves if they're open to receiving it. Could you talk about that a bit?
Yes. And you had said earlier that I helped you. You really helped yourself. Anytime that somebody is willing to show up for themselves, to lay on the table, to have the experience, you're the one that's actually deciding how the healing is going to happen. The practitioner is holding that space, is being that channel, because we're here on earth. We need to serve each other and help each other and care for one another. And through this healing and through touch, absolutely that happens. So that's it's amazing.
Any of you out there that have not tried Reiki, highly recommend it. Energy work is just it's so important. We think about going to the gym and doing work physically. Some people do meditation, which is great, but really having help shifting your energy is it's just so life-changing. So,
and it really complements. I just want to say, Lisa, it really does complement anything else that somebody is doing. So you mentioned the exercise and how somebody eats healthy. It's going to complement anything else that somebody is doing that's good for them.
Just one more factor to get you to a higher place.
Absolutely.
So now you know the name of my tequila brand is
I do. I love it.
Tequila. What does it mean to you, Gina Clemente, to be one with life?
For me, it means to see the light and the love in everybody. That I don't have judgment, that I do have peace, that when I look at somebody or feel into somebody, that you have compassion for them, and to be able to do that daily, that it's a way of living. It's not kind of cherry picked. And to really embrace everyone like God embraces everyone, which is with love and with peace. So that's really what it means to me, to just walk in love and walk in peace and emulate that, like I said, light out, just each and every day to the best of my ability. So, yeah.
So beautiful. Nico, not to put you on the spot once again, but I always put you on the spot. What is your quote of the day having to do with energy that you can share with us?
So, the quote of the day. Originally, I was going to do a quote by Einstein, but after I heard Gina talking about the fact that there is neither good nor bad energy, but it's just different frequencies of that energy, and whether or not that aligns with you and the place that you're vibrating at, made me think of this quote by Meister Eckhart, actually, who was a Christian mystic. Actually, he was a monk, and his quote is, and I'll explain a little bit about my interpretation of it, but it's: the only thing that burns in hell are your memories, your attachments. They burn them all away, but they're not punishing you. They're freeing your soul. If you're frightened of dying and you're holding on, you'll see devils tearing your life apart. But if you've made your peace and you've let go, then you'll see that the devils are really angels freeing you from the earth.
Wow. That's so powerful.
That's
very
powerful.
Of
the way that I perceive that is similar to the energy with which you bring into the world is what will be reflected back into you. The world will mirror your internal landscape. So if you're viewing everything from a place of fear and insecurity, and you're constantly living from this terrified place, then all the obstacles in your way will be seen to be devilish, and they'll seem to be things that are trying to tear you down and to destroy you. But once you come into more of a place of acceptance of your own inner landscape and see the underworkings of why things are happening the way that they are, then you'll see that the difficult things that happen in your life, even the things that seem to be tearing you down, are really there to be taking you closer to your heart, to be taking you closer to yourself and to your truth. And I think that's something that's really important. At least for me, it was very important to learn that.
Well, that's beautiful. Yeah, happening for you, not to you.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Wow, this such good energy on this podcast today.
Hope so.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm loving this so much. I don't even know how to even talk more after what Gina and Nico just said. It was so deep. But now to bring us back into the shallow, I'm going to show you the drink I made today with Life Tequila. Gina's drinking it as well.
I am.
This is called the Cherry Vanilla Owl, and it's made with cherry vanilla sparkling water. and I did a fresh squeeze of lemon, a fresh squeeze of lime, and a fresh squeeze of orange right into the sparkling water. Garnished it with the lime, and of course made it with a little one with Life Organic Tequila, and it's just so light and so delicious. So let's toast.
We'll toast
To always changing the energy in the room to raise the vibration, and to trusting energy, because energy doesn't lie. Salud.
Does not. Salute.